On, or do you have time to close the door?
Yeah, we're on.
Okay, cool.
That's
Go,
what the whole "Are you ready?" means.
go. I'm not paying attention.
Are you ready? Yeah. Okay, we're
Okay,
live.
sure. Why?
I know.
That seems unnecessary. Hmm.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to close that door. Hold on.
close the door. Can't move
Yeah.
anything.
No, there we go.
Joker and
Super. That is easy. Ah, doink.
tell me how the audio is.
Right. Only one. This stream and the next one, and then I'll be back.
Oh,
Hi, the tail. I'm kidding. Hold on a second. Just gotta fix my stuff. Told you, camera so nobody knows what the stuff is, but that's a different story. No, okay. Thank Lord. Mm. So
yeah,
guess
we're
why
live.
I managed to be on time today?
Guess who forgot to shut off her notifications?
If it helps you at all, so did I. So did I. Are we all good? You still hear me?
I can still hear you,
Okay, good.
and I can still see you. Didn't disable us.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
I did it
Why were you on time?
because we're going swimming right after breakfast when the kids are done eating.
Okay.
So there's no point in putting on the makeup. Vanity.
Up?
No,
Oh, okay.
not even a little bit. They were I had to threaten them yesterday. I think it was 11 when I told them, like, okay guys, you know what? It's time for you guys to go to bed. Yeah, but it's summer vacation. I was like, yes, it's also my summer vacation. I need you guys to go to bed.
Yeah.
And they were like, fine. And I swear to God, we hadn't heard much from them all evening. Like they'd been sneaking out of the room to chat with us to grab a snack or something, but then going back to the room.
Uh-huh.
I told them to go to sleep, and those monkeys just went ape shit in the room while they were getting ready for bed. First it was like laughing and, this is funny, I'm gonna jump on the bed, which is literally just like one of those blown up air mattresses. I'm like, please don't jump on the bed. This is not a bouncy castle. It is a bed. Stop it. And there was this, oh God, they just kept going and going. And then there was, he's on my side of the bed. And then there was the thing. And then they were arguing. And then you get to tell me what to do. Like to each other.
Okay.
So I'd go in there like, I swear to God, I will take every device from you for a week if you don't calm the F down. They were like,
So everyone's done with vacation then.
Everyone's done with vacation.
Yeah. 1 month is too
But
long.
you know what? It worked. It worked though. They were all sound asleep within 20 minutes.
Joker came in, tested
Hmm.
audio, and said, I can
Hola.
hear you all this time.
Yeah. Yippee.
I actually had to go into the settings on my microphone and bump it by 6 decibels.
Holy crap. Mm.
I don't know. I think it's the mic, but I don't know anything about it. It came with like a 2-page booklet that was like this big, like plug it in and it works. And I'm like, okay, great. Yeah,
And
that's
you're
what I
like,
figured. Yeah. We were right. Like always. We still have to schedule that time that we go through everything, right?
Jeez. Yeah. I'll be back next week. Yes. Water.
Yeah.
Friend.
I don't actually have water today.
I'm on my water this weekend and I can feel it. I can literally feel it.
I've been dehydrated and parched since Bertha died.
Mm-hmm.
No cup.
Yep.
No cup compares.
I think that Sinead O'Connor song would have sucked too.
No, I could sing a tune. I would have sang that instead.
Well, I mean, if it wasn't 8 a.m. here, I would have. Although my parents, they live next to an opera singer.
Oh, okay.
Which is really, and she's
all right, back
huge.
To work for me. I'll try to come back later and watch if I'm able.
Thanks for checking, though.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Appreciate
it. Have fun working as much as you can have fun working.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I said that to both my brother and my brother-in-law. They were leaving for work just 20 minutes ago, and I was like, yeah, good luck.
Good luck.
Have a good one.
Don't kill
when they were going
today.
to work. Yeah. Not because you don't really say have a great time.
Yeah.
When you're going to work.
Yeah. Oh.
You don't say that in Icelandic. You say you basically say I hope you do well.
Right.
So I got another whole turn of phrase. But they live next to this opera singer, and she'll start warm-ups at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. She's famous in other parts of Europe.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you'll just hear her doing all the warm-ups, doing the stuff, and then she'll just be singing randomly on and off for the next 3 or 4 hours.
Okay.
Which is, and I'm not complaining, but it's hilarious when you're not used to it because my siblings will hear her, they'll be like, oh yeah, there she goes. Cool. And I'll just be like, ooh, that sounds pretty. Completely unable to focus on whatever the hell we're doing. And she's on the other side of the TV room, so we watched 2 episodes of Umbrella Academy yesterday while she was singing the entire time. And all of a sudden there was this scene in the thing where a particular sound echoed, and for a second I wasn't sure if it was the TV or the opera singer. And I was like, did that woman go into surround sound? What the hell is going on? So freaked out. I was like, okay, that was funny. Okay. So I ran down to the basement to grab the laundry. The laundry room is in the basement. And so I run down there. As I'm there, I think it's her husband, it's somebody else who lives in this building, are practicing their guitar in the extra room in the basement. So I go from opera to Nirvana downstairs. And I'm like, oh, it's like having a theme song for everything you do.
Yeah.
I was like, I've had worse times to grab in the laundry for sure.
Have any music on shuffle or something? Forgetting you had the music on.
Mm-hmm. And I'm told there's a piano player on the 3rd or 4th floor.
Yeah.
And then there's one of the kids of a floor above us is practicing some form of flute. And my sister says, well, they're at least getting better now. I can recognize the song. I just forgot what it's like to live in an apartment building.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There are people above you and below you, and you can hear stuff in between.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
I just forgot what that's like. You're all of a sudden you're sitting there going are they moving all the furniture or do they have cement shoes? What is that noise?
Yeah, I don't miss that at all. Not even a little bit.
Nope.
Because I had a house when I was in the U.S. Just me and the dogs. Had my own house, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then when I moved here, we were in Oslo, in one of those. Yeah, you saw the building, right? One of those buildings. Mm-hmm. We were on the 1st floor, so there wasn't anyone beneath us, but
everybody was above you.
Everybody was above us. I remember one time the person above us was having a party, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and the dogs were barking. The boys were in their crates, in the other room, and they were barking because they could hear everything that was happening above us. And so at one point, 3 o'clock in the morning, I just yelled. I was like, shut up, right? And I yelled it so they could hear me, and then you heard the party go silent. And there was no more noise. I was like, oh, if that's all I had to do, I'll yell at the dog all the time.
You'll be writing that down for later.
Yeah. And we had the boy at the time. So not a happy.
No, nobody's a happy camper. If somebody threatens to wake up your kid in the middle of the night,
Yeah. Oh,
not cool.
I was not happy. Not a fan.
Nope.
0
Nope,
out
not
of
at all.
10. Do not recommend.
I think I've only had to when I lived in apartment buildings, I think I've only ever had to go to a neighbor to ask them to turn stuff down twice, and that was exactly the same thing. It was like a party, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I had my son and my eldest daughter, and they were both kind of waking up because of the noise. We're like, okay, guys, like we get it that you want to have a party, but I have babies up there. Can you turn it down a little bit? They were like, yeah, sure. So they decided to move the party out on the balcony, which was directly below my balcony, and be loud. Instead, somebody else called the police. I was like, yeah, okay, fine.
Okay. Well, it wasn't you. Not that they don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. The other time it was a Sunday, and it was 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, in Iceland, we don't give a shit what you do. Like, you're going to make noise. None of business.
Yeah.
But I did have to go run down there and be like, hey, would you mind not using your drill for the next hour? And they were like, what? And we're like, my daughter is being christened upstairs, and I really don't want her name to be blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, sure. You got it. No problem. I can do something else. Most of the time, neighbors don't really take it badly if you're bothering them. Bothering them. Because most of the time we're like, whatever.
Hey, how was the weekend without kids?
It was very nice.
What did you do?
We went to a pop quiz on Thursday at this place called Pizza and Shake here. And they make like random pizzas and milkshakes, I mean, obviously, but we did not do great. They switched us up into teams of 3, and there was like enough of us at the table that there were 3 teams at the table.
Good.
What did you do? You turning off the light?
I shut off the ring light, yeah. I've got the sun over here. Beautiful.
Right.
Like, not right. And if I...
Noise.
I'm angel and the devil.
Right.
But the ring light was... It points
your eyeball
down, because usually it's showing what I'm... Desk. Perfect. I'm looking down, so when it's
in your face.
In my face, yes. I don't even notice it. Like I know we use the ring light when we're like at your place or my kitchen or something, but it doesn't bother me as much.
Further away. Like when you have to include 2 people, it's not gonna be as close.
Yeah, it's
I'm
better.
Assuming. I know.
Better.
I know. I brought my ring light with me, so what do I know? There were 15 questions. It was a short pub quiz. There were 15 questions, and me and my husband, we only got 8 of them right. The funny thing was, there were a few questions that were really, really difficult, and we got those. But everything else we got wrong. But it was really fun, and I learned a lot of random facts for later.
Wait, what?
Learned, you know how like when you go to like quizzes and stuff, and you're like, that's what they did with the thingamajiggy. I thought they did this thing. Like, there's what's it called? What's that buzzer round called in IQ general knowledge?
Oh yeah.
And the misconceptions of general knowledge.
Oh, I'm smarter than a 5th grader kind of thing.
Yeah, kind of. It's like, oh no, I'm not.
Yeah, I know. I don't think I am anymore.
Yeah, I know. And we got like 3 multiple choice questions wrong because I wanted to go with a funny answer, and my husband was like, I mean, but that can't be true though. And I was like, no, we probably can't. 2 of them happened to be right.
Oh boy.
I was like, damn it, we could have gotten 10 points. It didn't matter. The people who won had 13 points, so never mind that.
Yeah, whatever helped anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, it was fun.
Yeah.
We had a good time. I had peanut butter milkshake, paid for it the next day, but it was fine.
Peanut butter milkshake. That sounds delicious.
It really was. It was just, which reminds me, I've got to try ice cream with peanut butter later.
Of course, you
But
have
not
to try
today,
ice cream with peanut
because
butter. What do
I've
you mean?
literally eaten ice cream every day since Wednesday.
Excellent.
Every day. Even yesterday, I was like, I can't. I don't want to go to the store. They went to the store. They bought like a liter thing, and everybody could make their own ice cream. I was like, well, maybe right.
Oh, so you're just going to use peanut butter from the cupboard?
Yeah. No, I mean, they have it at the store, at the ice cream store. It's one of the flavors if I want to make a brother or the flavor fuck.
Make a sundae
Somebody
instead.
up there is turning around.
Make a sundae instead. Make it like a Reese's peanut butter cup sundae. Take peanut butter and chocolate, and then you put those candies on top.
Mm-hmm. I might do that.
Or you can save that for when we go to the U.S. Because we will be going to the U.S. at some point.
I'll be. Oh my god! And on Friday, we did stuff. What did we do? I mean, before we did actual planned stuff, we went to the store, the mall, because we wanted to grab my father some presents for his birthday. Because we all went there on Saturday morning. No, not morning, afternoon. I know time. And I got him one of those it was a T-shirt that had nine faces of the stormtrooper on it. Obviously, all of them were exactly the same face.
Yeah.
And it said confused, happy, angry, different types of what the stormtrooper was. And I was like, if you're not going to use it, I'm going to steal it. Fair warning. It's like, it's 2 times extra large. What would you do with it? I was like, I'd make it work.
Yep.
I would make that work for me.
And then
he was like, 2 times extra large? That's so mean. Because, he usually wears extra large. I was like, I know, but those sizes look tiny at the store. He's like, and then he texted me yesterday, like, yeah, those were, I'm happy. I'm relieved y'all took the chance of the 2 extras. But then we went to,
we delete that one.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
It's that kind of day.
Yeah, apparently.
We went to a sushi place or a restaurant. Like, not the fanciest place here, but it's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Just ban them.
I know. I just keep deleting the messages. Why are you even streaming this? Streaming what? Us catching up?
Yeah. It's called just chatting.
Off stream. Well, you don't have to.
Yeah, right.
We are talking.
What we do. It's what we do. My husband decided to have an octopus.
Wait, what?
Yep. Decided to have a barbecued octopus.
Okay.
At the sushi place.
I won't tell you what I thought you said, so.
Tell you, oh my god, it was it looked scary. It was just one of the tentacles, but still it was a tentacle. It's creepy.
You had calamari.
No. Octopus.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Weird things anyway. Said your husband eats weird things anyway.
Yeah, well, most Icelanders eat something weird anyway. And then we went to karaoke.
And how was that?
We took no prisoners. It was great. We had a room to ourselves for 2 hours. And we went all over the place. Like there were diva songs, there were party songs, there were short classic karaoke songs, and then there was DuckTales. TV themes.
DuckTales at karaoke. Woohoo! Well, that's the only part I can know.
That was one of the very few times somebody actually opened the door because there was there's a pool, there's a billiard room next to the karaoke room, so they can kind of hear you the entire time.
Yeah.
And that was the only time they literally opened the door, going, "Oh, dang!" What? It was fun. I had a good time.
Nice.
Then there's just cabins and some shopping, some cozy time. But the kids came home with us on Saturday because they started calling like, "Can we come back? Do we have to stay at the cabin?" Like an hour after we left. I was like, "You have Wi-Fi."
Yeah.
And spoiling grandparents. What is the deal?
I know. What was their problem? Well, they weren't with you. That's.
I was like, ooh, separationanxiety.com. Hi.
Yeah.
Are you banning?
Just fixing things. No, he's already gone. I already banned him.
Nice job.
Yep. Somewhere. Yeah.
Oh, what about you? What did you do this weekend?
Played Minecraft.
That much, huh?
No, we actually did stuff like out and about. Saturday, the kid to the Lake of Placid. Yeah, near.
Yep.
And things, but I honestly can't remember. Saturday was the busy day. Yesterday was the boring day.
Right.
I got a lot done in Minecraft. I'm building like.
Ooh.
Yeah, but for some reason it's all boxy and like it's like a paper bag. So I have to.
It looks like a paper bag.
Paper
to
bag.
be fair, you are building it in a cliff. That does give you some limits. Not necessarily. It's just, how much you want to mine.
Actually, not a problem. And started a 119 when his nephew was.
Yeah.
Right. And so we were playing in it. He had put in there because, he's a 12-year-old boy. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were towers and towers of dirt everywhere. Whatever.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you got to build up to get to something. Right? No, I don't know.
Building parkour.
No, not parkour.
Yeah. Killed all the villagers. Yeah.
My 8-year-old sat, almost 9-year-old sat there in the living room with us. I think it was yesterday. Was it Saturday? I can't remember. She was sitting there and she was like, "Oh, I found the village. I spotted the best place ever." And then she's like, "And there's no iron golem." And then we just hear, We're like, yeah, why not? Nothing. The business.
You'll be happy to know. Yesterday, picked up a bike.
Oh, no way.
For me. Yeah. It's
Was it like a
used bike?
Yep.
My husband had a point. He knows me very, very well. He's like, I am okay getting an electric bike for you. I have no problem with that. However, why don't we make sure that you're actually going to use it first?
Yep. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, you kind of have a point. Because, I go through my phases. As does everyone. I just have more of them. So, yep. So, he was given one nice
Right?
7 or not. I don't know. He said it was decent, so we picked it up
And it's an
yesterday.
electric bike?
No, not an electric
It's
bike.
not
I have to
a bike.
prove that I'm worthy of an electric bike.
Oh no. But
Yep.
all right. All right, all right. And
I think
I had a bike that you could have just taken.
I know, but he said the gears would be helpful.
Yep. There's 8 gears on my old lady bike. I love that
Okay.
old lady bike. It's dinged up as fuck, but I love it. Hmm. Ah, happy.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. There's a lot of bikes, spokes. I don't know. I don't actually know what any of this means. I haven't
You're
had
like,
a
I don't
bicycle
think
since I
right.
was 5th grade.
Right.
So I hope it's really true that, like, once you learn how to ride a bike, you can ride it for.
Right. Yeah. I think that is true.
My only question is that you or someone else?
It's
Okay.
I just thought it would be funny. There are so many stuffed toys here.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Broken up
finished
this.
going through
Oh,
mhm.
head.
Oh yeah, no, I finished packing away the stuff that we're gonna take with us to Norway from storage.
Yes.
And then I have to go through the books and see what, I'll keep and will be transported to me in little bites whenever people visit.
Yeah.
And whatnot. But oh my god, the stuff I had in those memory box. Jeez. I had the spoon in there. I have literally no recollection of where the spoon came from.
If only you could go back and tell past you, like, put a Post-it note on it. Just put a fucking Post-it note on it.
It's right on the back of that spoon.
Yeah.
Because it was like weirdly thin. It's like it has very little weight to it, but it's still metal. And it was really funny. And I'm still going like, I think I may have an idea now, 24 hours later after I found it in the memory box, going like, I think it's from. I'm not sure. So I texted a friend of mine like, hey, do you remember when we went to that wedding? Do I still a spoon? For what? It's not like it's an ornate spoon or anything. It's just a freaking spoon.
Why would you go to a wedding and steal a spoon?
I don't know. I don't know. So much
Okay.
stuff. Oh God. And the sheer amount of A4 paper, the lined books that you'd write in, like for school.
Yeah.
That I have in there with my stories in it. It's alarming.
Nice.
Like I would say to the point where I'm worried that I had a.
Wait, what happened? There was a little.
Like to the point where I thought I had a compulsion rather than a desire to write.
Oh, okay.
Just can't stop. I mean, I found books in there that were like 3 or 4 of them were connected because it was the same story.
Okay.
We're talking hundreds and hundreds of handwritten pages.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, geez, okay. So I went through what it could have been, as in I checked what had writing on it, what didn't.
Yeah.
Because there was like 4 books in there that were, like the end of something. So they only had like 10 to 20 pages. So I took those out, put them in another book, and now my family has a lot of writing material, I guess.
You're not going to bring them with you, or is it
some
of those piecemeal things?
I'm bringing the stuff that I wrote on. I'm bringing all that with me because I was like, I'll waste my entire vacation reading over this and seeing how did I think this was a story, or like, oh yeah, that's not how we write that word. That's not even a little bit how you write that, or whatever. So I was like, I'll do that later. That can be later, but I just need to take it with me.
Yeah.
It's so much stuff. It's so much stuff. But yeah, I'm done. Oh, but that spoon made me laugh so hard. I mean, I found Walkmans in there and, all sorts of relics from the past.
Walkman.
Yeah, a Walkman. A dinged up one too, because I used it a lot.
Was one
And
of the
just,
CD ones?
no,
Tape cassette.
a cassette Walkman. Yeah. We called the other ones Discman here
Oh,
because
yeah,
it had
yeah.
a disc and stuff. I was like, ooh, we're original here.
No, I
Yeah,
name of them.
oh, okay. I was like, we had to work harder to come up with that one. No, I'm kidding.
It's not. Said, how come not together? Then he said, sell it
Ah,
on eBay.
yeah,
Could sell
I
it on
might.
eBay. We're not together.
Maybe.
Go ahead.
No, I just said maybe.
Oh, we're not together because she is in Iceland. So
On vacation.
yeah.
Only like we'll have one more week of this though.
Countdown. Final count. Days.
Yep.
Comes home. It's been a really long month. Let me tell you. Long month.
Long month. How
You're
are
not
you
allowed to go. Not allowed anymore.
without you?
2
No.
weeks tops. Nope. Yeah, no more than 2 weeks. And your dog is like, he's depressed now. I think he's just like,
oh.
yeah. Did hubby go too? Yes, the whole family.
Yes. Yeah.
There with
I'm
hubby.
here with the brood. But how are you doing? It's been a while since he popped in, right?
Yeah, it has been a while.
Yeah. How you doing?
How you doing? Can't do that.
Yeah, I don't think I could do it. I still try, but
Yeah.
I don't think I can. Hold on a second. Oh, there we go. Sitting up here.
Really wish I had a glass of water.
Oh yeah.
He said it's been a minute. Lol.
It has been a minute.
Lol.
Oh my god, we're keeping up with the lingo.
Odd hours for
Hmm.
Oh, if Jakaka
sure.
came in, then it would be like old school.
Right?
Yeah.
It would be. Oh my god, could you imagine? No, but oh man. Yeah, we've got a week now. So like I literally sent out the, hey, if these two people want to meet me or not, they need to give me a time. Don't make me give you guys a time.
Oh, geez,
I'm not the one who lives here.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I meet them, I meet them. If I don't, I just don't. What's up?
There was a VOD out there where your hair was wet at the beginning and dry by the end.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. That sounds accurate. That sounds accurate.
Yep.
Oh, which reminds me, I haven't transferred any of these things. Have you done that? To the channel?
Oh, push them to YouTube?
Yeah.
Nope.
I haven't done that. I realized it yesterday because my computer was not connected to the internet, and I was like, oh, I haven't even done any of those.
Yeah, I can do that. I'll do that after.
All right.
Write a
That'd
note
be cool.
if I remember.
Like my spoon.
Good luck remembering that one.
Spoon. Why did I take the spoon? I don't
I have an errant spoon here somewhere.
Oh yeah?
But have it. Oh. I know. I have too much shit in the way. Okay, I'm not going to be able to get it now. But my grandmother gave it to me before I left the U.S. because my final visit, my grandmother blocked off the whole afternoon so I could go and see her, spend time with her. At this point, she was living in like a hospice. She wasn't actually in a hospice, but it was like a can't care for myself kind of place.
Right.
And so I blocked off the entire afternoon before I left to go and just sit with her, spend time with her. And my grandmother was like, old Italian lady, right? She's like, go, you have better use of your time. Don't sit here with me. And I'm like, no, like I'm literally moving out of the country. Like I need to spend as much time with you as I can. I need to get as much of you as I can. And we sat there in silence for like an hour. Just done, right? She was done.
Right. She's like, I don't do visits anymore.
Yeah. before I was leaving, she's like, I have nothing to give you. I have nothing to give you. So here. And she gave me a spoon. I was like,
Awesome.
yeah. So I have the spoon. Last thing my
See, but
grandmother
that makes
gave me.
sense, though. That makes sense to me. I have no idea if I took that spoon from the thing or like, I mean, everybody I know, they have glasses from restaurants or plates from a bar, and that it was a cute plate with a thing on it. You know what I mean? Like it
Right.
makes sense
Yep.
that you would kind of want to accidentally take that with you home.
I have beer glasses like that from bars.
Yeah, right,
Like those
right.
really
That's
tall,
what I mean.
like,
Yeah,
ones.
that's what I mean. Like that's stuff that you could possibly get away with sneaking off. But I don't know why I took that spoon.
And nobody you know remembers. Maybe you should send an email.
If my friend that I texted about this doesn't have an answer for me, I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to put on Facebook like, anybody know why I took a spoon sometime in my life? But like, oh my god.
Not said that you could use the slider and watch your hair volume. Kind of funny. He says we have two counterfeit spoons in my house. One is a soup spoon, and the other is a regular spoon, but very thin handle. Very odd.
Right, the counterfeit spoon. I know exactly what you mean though. It's like when you have a drawer and you know that spoon compartment is filled with spoon, and there's like the two spoons that don't fit anywhere, and you're just like, "Meh."
Match? Where did I get these? Did I steal them from work? Whose spoon did I steal? Yep.
Like when my husband used to take like the leftovers to eat for lunch at work.
Yeah, yeah.
And then, you know, like 2 weeks later, he'd bring back home the plates, and I'd be like, "Oh, that's what the damn plates were? Really?" And then all of a sudden, I'm like, "Wait, this one isn't even out." I just took the ones that didn't match the set at work, and I'm like, "Other people's plates." I end up with a lot of random stuff that way, but you know, I mean, that's funny. Like, the story, it's cute.
Yeah.
But oh my god, it's just random. It's just so very, very random. Oh man, hold on a minute. There we go. Yoink.
Like,
They were gonna go saw women today.
like in a
Yeah,
pool or in the ocean or not the
in the
dangerous
pool. Yeah,
ocean.
no,
No,
we're not. No,
you know better.
no. I have intentions of coming home,
Yeah, you better.
and I mean to do that. Yep. Yeah, we still have to go to the Pearl here and check out the museum that they have there now,
The
and we
what?
still have to do. There's a place here called Pertlan, which literally translates to the Pearl, and this was before Pirates of the Caribbean. So now when you
Okay.
say the Pearl, you just feel like you're a pirate. No, it's they built a revolving restaurant on top of these old water heater tanks, whatever they're called,
Okay.
like giant water tanks. For I mean, to put that into some kind of scale, it's like a giant. There's six of them, and there's like I don't. I'll put a picture of it on the Discord so people will
Okay.
like be like, oh okay. I don't know how we got a pearl out of that though, but that's a different story. You know, and I used to go there when I was a kid, and they would hold shows there, like small concerts and exhibitions and shit. And then on the top, you'd have the fancy restaurant that revolves, like the floor
Yeah.
spins,
Yeah.
and people you can get a 360 view of Reykjavik from there and stuff like that. But today, it's they've filled one of the tanks with ice and made an ice cave.
Okay.
There's some kind of natural Icelandic natural history there or something. And there's other stuff, panorama of what's it called? Of the Northern Lights, for example, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So, you know, they've made it a serious tourist attraction, I guess. So we have to check that out because now we're tourists.
Oh yeah,
What
you're too.
else? I'm tourist in my own country. Ooh, that is cute.
Son gave it to me.
That's adorable.
Not anything.
Hey, it's cute.
Yeah.
That's
No,
what matters.
he found some. I had them on my desk because I was going to give them to him. It was a little package of like temporary tattoos, and
Mhm.
so he found them. So he got like a Bible thing, try them, and I was like, "Yeah, sure, kid, you can," because you know how he is. So figured, like, no, 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 absolutely not.
Yeah.
Need everything I can see. Get it off now. But no, he was fine with it. Then Mama had to have one, and then Papa had to have one. So.
Yep.
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 And then he tried to, and he put them on himself. So yeah.
Right.
Yep. And my husband has a tiger.
Oh, it's fun.
Tiger.
It's adorable. My daughter got herself an airbrush tattoo, which is basically just another form of temporary tattoos.
Yeah.
And it stayed on for like a week until we went swimming. Okay. Then all of a sudden it started to break up, and I was like, here we go.
Yeah.
Because I was starting to wonder. I was like, how long is that thing gonna last? It was just like this little smiley sun thing. It was cute, tiny but cute. Yeah. Tiny but cute. Hold on. Oh no, hold on. Gotta fix the chair. There we go. Doink.
You were woken up this morning at 7.
Oh,
by an enormous, and I mean huge, took up the entire driveway. That's limited because it has a dumpster, one of the cars, and yeah, by this huge delivery truck with a crane on it.
Oh my goodness.
And they delivered all of the roof tile. And no, when they deliver the roof tile, they just crane it to the roof.
But straight up to the roof?
It was being unloaded, which is what woke me up, right on the roof.
Oh my God, that would make me so nervous. Okay, what if the roof isn't strong enough to support that weight on that one spot?
No, I think it was scattered. But Biznat said 1:30 a.m. here, and I have to work tomorrow. Night, ladies. Catch the
night.
Cheers.
Thanks for stopping in.
Cheers, Biznat. Thanks for stopping in.
Cheers, but not what?
Cheers.
Oh.
Gosh.
Thanks, Biznat. Cheers for dropping in. And somehow I heard this cheers, but not thanks for dropping in. I'm like, what phrase is that?
Maybe my microphone is being specific again.
No. I'm sure it was just my connection. Oh, that was just funny as hell. Oh, my ears, they're just falsing.
Yeah. So, yes, we had the tile, the stone, the roof, actual outside part that you...
Right.
Whatever those stones are. Morning, the crane truck.
On your roof.
On my roof. Yes.
That's rough.
Yeah.
Oh, I would have been tired.
Yeah.
I'm already tired.
And my kids snuck into my...
Oh, yeah.
Said no parent ever. Oh, yay.
Yep.
So, 7:50, sleeping through the delivery of whatever. And so I started waking him up. No, it wasn't until 9:30. I was like, how can... You're 7 years old. How can you be in teenage years already? I don't understand what's happening.
He's growing. You're going to wake up and you're going to like it.
Kid is going to bed early tonight.
Yep.
The kid is getting some special milk tonight.
You're done with this?
I need one full night of... I haven't had one in
a while.
Since before the nephew came. Because he slept with us that whole time.
Right.
Yeah. I need a good... Yesterday, I was so cranky. Holy hell, was I cranky. I was so cranky. Like, Mama, can I have milk? And I'm like, yeah, of course you can have milk.
I love you. I love you too. Oh, yes. Oh, God.
And he's like, Mama, what's wrong? And I'm like, oh, what's wrong? Let me tell you what's wrong. What's wrong is Mama hasn't been able to get 6 consecutive hours of sleep in the last 2 weeks, and Mama's tired of it. Because Mama said, you have to stay in your own bed. You have to sleep in your own bed tonight. You have to stay there the whole night so Mama can get some sleep. You said, no, I have to go sleep with Mama, and that's what's wrong. I was so cranky. I was so cranky yesterday. Poor kid.
Oh, yeah. Oh, poor buddy. And by buddy, I mean you.
Yeah. Me.
Oh, honey. Oh, honey.
Yes.
Oh, nobody likes those, though. Like the weeks, I mean, like the whole, I can't help myself now.
I'm ready. This is last week of vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready for all of it to go away. Not go away.
Done with it.
Huh?
Yeah, you're done with it.
Yeah. Someone come in?
Someone is trying to be sneaky.
I'm
trying to open the very squeaky door.
Sneaky,
slowly.
sneaky.
Squeak, squeak, squeak. It's like, just open the door.
Like a Band-Aid. Get it off. Do it all at once. Yep.
I'm pretty sure there's a "that's what he said" joke in there somewhere.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah, no, we have, yeah. What else do we have planned for this week? We have a trampoline park planned.
Okay.
And by trampoline park, I mean for the kiddos. I don't think we'll be partaking in the trampolining.
But weren't we going to take our kids and do that too?
Sure.
So the one up here, the one at Snö?
Yeah. In Oslo or Nunsk or whatever they call it now.
Yeah.
And what else? What else did we have planned? I feel like I had like 2 or 3 other things planned that I don't remember anymore. Along with that spoon, everything took my memory. I put what was it? I found like notes that I'd gotten from like a coworker when I used to work at a bookstore here, and that was some 8 years ago. I found notes from that person because they were like, "Hey, so I thought it was kind of shitty that you never got any notes from me. Ha ha ha. So I hid notes around the store for you."
What?
And I'm like I have the vaguest of recollections of this, and then I found random notes there, and they were marked 1 of 5, 2 of 5, 3 of 5, and then 5 of 5. So I'm like, wait, I just never found the 4th. Like, just randomly sitting in somebody's house now. At this random shit they found in a bookstore. What? To that one.
Okay.
Oh my god. I was like, I should probably send him pictures of this because I was like, look at this dumb shit we used to do. Because I mean, it's more than 10 years ago, but that note dated back to 2008. I was very happy that I was obsessively writing dates on things that I was going to save. But there was also stuff I didn't, so I have literally no idea. I found 3 stories of mine in Icelandic. And I only have a recollection of writing 2 of them. But it's my chicken shit writing, so it's me. I wrote it, but I don't remember it.
It was like a new story.
Yeah. I could stop laughing. I was like, oh, this one is the first thing I'm gonna read when I get home. This is hilarious.
Oh, you haven't read them yet?
No, God, no. I mean, it literally would take days. Days. So much of them. Or so many of them, to be put more accurately.
Wanted to. all the change.
The word changes. Do you think any of them are because I wrote more in British than I did in American?
No, I have avoided I've actually had to look up quite a number because I was like, that's not how you spell that. But then I was like,
Yep.
oh, wait a minute.
Actually, you know what drives me insane about the American versus British spelling rule? But my least favorite word is the word center. I don't understand why in British it's written that way, but it is. Centre.
Oh, centre.
It's
Yeah,
written,
that was one of the ones I had to look up.
Yep.
I was like,
Yep.
that's got to be a typo. And I'm like, nope. Word spelling, like the spell check would have got that one.
Yeah. I thought that was so funny. Every time I try to write it the American way, and I'm like, no, wait, we're following the Brit. Okay,
Yeah.
right, I can do it. No, but I started writing down like questions for you that I have.
Oh, good.
Out the book, but
Yes.
we're not doing that here.
No.
But I was like, oh, and like that wasn't annoying, like that wasn't a thing or something.
I don't know. I have the thing, and I swear,
Yeah,
I will sit together.
Yeah, we're gonna go over this.
Yeah,
I don't mind. No, it was.
But I kind of want to
like
make the changes over here, and then put it on my Kindle and read it again. See if I notice, like, because I'm going to notice something each time, right?
Right. Yeah, no, you can't. You don't get to make any changes on the thing.
I know. No.
Sorry, not sorry.
And then, like, I had also, I was like, no, comma should not be there. I don't know why this comma is there.
Oh, yeah.
And
Girl,
then
I gave up on trying to figure out where the comma should be a while ago.
Yes. So then I was like, no comma there. No, you don't put a comma after but. And I was like, a minute. Something's like vaguely tickling the back of my head. So I had to go look up the comma after but. And I was like, oh, shit. Okay, just ignore every single thing I said about commas. Because clearly I don't know what the hell I'm talking about either.
I think I had like 4 conversations with you because I was like, I didn't know there had to be a comma after the but. Because I was just like,
did we have that conversation?
No. Yeah, we had that conversation repeatedly, like ages ago. Like, yeah. Because I was like, I don't remember having to do that when I was like in school learning how to do the thing.
Yeah, no.
So, and you were like, you don't either. And then you were like, are you sure? And I was like, according to the word and Google and everything else, apparently I'm wrong.
I did look it up, and now I understand it better. It's like you would use it the same way you would use a semicolon.
Yeah.
So if you have two...
I know that word semicolon is funny.
Oh, that is what it's called, right? Just on my keyboard.
It is.
No, that's what that is. Yeah. If you have 2 complete sentences that can stand alone by itself, and you have but in there, then you have a comma. And every other time you don't. But I was like, no, why is there all these commas after what's good shit? Like...
I know.
Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah. At one point, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna have to do my best with the commas, and some grammar Nazi in the future is gonna have to delete or add more. I don't know.
Some editor will fix it all completely.
That's gonna be like that last proofreading editor person, like
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, this is on you.
and I noticed too, like I know I could hear in my head exactly like when you put commas for a pause for like whatever.
Yeah.
But apparently you don't do that anymore. And that's a generational learning thing. Because I learned that when you're trying to inflict a feeling into a sentence and you want to...
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. That's literally one of the things that they taught us. It's like, it has to be here and here for this and so reasons.
Yeah.
But sometimes the comma is going to be there because you need to take a breath. It's the same thing when you're reading lyrics. Where the comma is where you're supposed to breathe.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whatever.
So we're just going to ignore every single thing I did about commas on there. Every single thing.
The bane of my existence at this point.
Oh.
I'm just like, no, I got nothing. I was like, you know what? And I told my computer as if it was Karen. I was like, I did my best, Karen. Okay.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing my best.
My best. That's all I got. Oh my God. Being sad at that one. And were you the one who recommended the what?
Go ahead. Did I recommend what?
No. Were you the one who recommended the Victoria Dannon book to me? It's like a 40. What was it called? Midlife crisis books or whatever. They're not midlife crisis books,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. I don't think that particular series is for me. Like I almost managed to finish the first book. I've never done this before. What was it called again? Life After 40? Midlife Magic? Something like that?
Yes, Midlife Mojo.
Oh, I was close. I've never done that one before, like what I did with this book, because sometimes, I'll give a book 50 to 100 pages to start if there's a whole bunch of characters or a whole bunch of things that I need to know or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, no, that one, I managed to get all the way to the second to last chapter, and I was like, I can't anymore.
Really?
I can't. No, literally nothing happened the entire time. Just absolutely nothing. Just a bunch of like, I got a shitty deal, and like, I'm setting up my new house, and everything's so fantastic, and la 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 la,
yes,
and I'm butting into everybody's business like it's any of my business, and I'm telling people how to live their lives.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. I was like, nobody got murdered. Just absolutely nothing happened. There was like this one thing, and I was like, okay, here we go. Now they got this delivery of this thing that is bad luck, bad juju, whatever. And I'm like, yes, okay, fine, and something's happening. Like the story is gone. You've literally told me about everyone in the village and their issues. Yes. Like on a personal level. Nothing that you would have to deal with. And I was, oh my God.
Okay. You're like 2 chapters before the world implodes.
Yeah, I know, and I just didn't care. Like, and I'm genuinely not trying to shit on the author or anything. It's just like, when I'm reading, I genuinely want to be interested and entertained, and I need something to be happening.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Don't tell me about everyone. I just could not care.
Yeah. It's a shame, because I think I'm on like the 3rd book of that, and there's so much going on that now I'm like, wait, what? Also, there's been like a big break, so I have to go like a chapter back.
Yeah. I don't know. I just felt like there was like, it wasn't even info dumping. It was kind of like if I were to write up all the stuff you and I talk about.
Yeah, she was talking. Yeah, she just set up all of the angst of this divorced woman setting up a new life.
There was almost no angst at all. It was like, should I look at that? My life is so perfect. And don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on the whole, what should we call it? The object of her affection.
Oh, that guy?
Hate. Lose.
Oh. He actually turns out all right.
Annoyingly presumptuous. I'm sure. It's just that, if you have characters everywhere who can basically just read your mind, and they're just perfect, and everything's so perfect, and there was just no conflict, there was no nothing. Yeah. You don't write a whole book about that. You just don't. I mean, okay, apparently people do. There is groves of human beings who love this, and I'm just like, I'm not one of them. Give me a murder somewhere in the beginning that you have to solve, or anything. Really. Like, why couldn't her car have been a bitch? I don't know. Just anything. He had no conflicts except for one little goblin that turned up for one freaking page. And I'm like, oh, bye. Come back. Because, like, in my mind, I just kept reading the book, thinking eventually something is going to happen.
Yes.
And I even read that the first, I swiped through the pages so it would say done reading on my Kindle.
Yeah.
Rather than, oh, you finished in 93% of this book. And then you have to give it a rating and a review. I mean, you don't have to give it a review, but I tried to do that. And what I did was, like, I gave it a rating, and then I was just like, it's just a no for me. Nothing wrong with the writing or stuff. It's not my jam.
Not your jam.
No.
Maybe you should have started with book 2.
Maybe I should have, because God.
Because the world explodes at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I read a tiny bit of the last chapter, and I was like, no. Just nope.
I don't even remember that one now. I'm thinking of all the stories that are in, like, future chapters.
Yeah. It's just, you know, if you take a whole book to set up things, then I need something to be happening in the in-betweens.
Okay.
And there was like a few times where somebody stepped out of the darkness when she was walking home, and I was like, oh, now something's going to happen. Nope. Nope. They were just mad that they didn't get invited to a luncheon somewhere. I'm like, what?
I would say give book 2 a try, because it's free on the Kindle, right? Oh, wait, no, you don't have the AU.
Nope. No.
No, okay. But you liked that other series? Did you? No, you only read one book.
I haven't finished that one either.
Apparently we have very different tastes.
No. I just, I need to give that a better chance, because, you know, they're definitely setting things up. You know what I mean? Like, you're getting the whole two POVs, you know. One of them is this thing. The other one is this unknowing little, oh, I'm going to make something of myself, but I don't know this yet, but I'm the chosen one. But when she's running for her life in chapter 4, because somebody's shooting at her with some magically enhanced arrows that explode or something.
Oh, yeah.
And throw acid. And she's running away, and she's calling the cows by their names, and there's like freaking 8 of them. Like, and literally, this is what I'm hearing. Oh, Blitzen, Blitzy, 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 Blitzy. That's running for your life. You're fucking Santa Claus. That's what you are at that point. So I'm like, I can't. I'm gonna put this down for a second. I'll be back.
Oh, that's the second one? That's the second series.
Oh, I have no idea. I was like, okay, I can't take that seriously. I'm just running for my life, shouting out all the names of my children and my dead relatives and my family members while I'm running away. It just sounded so Santa Clausy to me. She named them cute stuff like Buttercup and stuff. But I was like, okay, you know what? That's a pet peeve of mine.
So, you know, about the nightmares.
Yes, the nightmares. I did like the fact that they're literally called nightmares. That was very nice. But she named them all, and she's running for her life, and there's like freaking 8 of them. Again, not running for your life. You're Santa Claus. I was like, you know what? That's okay. Pet peeve of mine. I'll be back. It's gonna. Did you ever read Dean Koontz?
I have some Dean Koontz. I don't know if I don't remember any of this.
No. I read a book of his called, I can't remember if it was The Husband or The Cell. Because they all have like the, and then just like the one word. So I can't, there was a phone on it. So I'm assuming it was the phone call or the something. I can't remember.
I can check my bookcase.
It's a very nice book. I mean, you know,
but
it is what it is. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, but comma. Why is there? It still feels wrong. Like literally, the but for me is the comma.
Exactly. Oh my god! Exactly. Exactly.
Yep.
The but is the comma. Anyway,
it's like a thriller. So you know, you read this in like 1 or 2 days when you're traveling somewhere or something like that. It's very nice for what it is. You know, it's exciting. It's the thing. But in this one of these scenes, like the husband, you know, the main character that, you know, whose POVs you're following, he jumps over this bush to avoid bullets because somebody's shooting at him. And I can't remember if he ran behind a car and then jumped onto bush or whatever. But it was great because while he's jumping over the bush as a gardener, he tells you what type of bush it is, how it should be trimmed, and that somebody should have trimmed this in a better way or given it more soil. And you're like, that is not the kind of thought you'd put into there. It's just, it doesn't. I was like, yes, I always wonder, why did that person cut her hair like that when I'm running for my life? Like, it literally, it was just like in that book, the Nightmares, it was just a sentence. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not like she was thinking about it or anything like that. That one, the gardener gave you like a half a paragraph of how you should tame that bush.
Yes.
Running for his life because his wife is in danger.
Yeah, but they help. They're no, never mind. You need to.
I think they help, but I don't think that was the right spot to put that in because you are in the action. You want to know what's happening. You're worried about their lives. You don't give a shit if that's a condition bush that needs to have this kind of soil in it.
Yes.
While they're running for their lives. On the other hand, he had to talk to somebody afterwards.
Okay.
That would have been a perfect time to like drop that in there. And I didn't have time to notice at the time or whatever, or just anything. It was just so funny. Like, it was a bush that needed trimming or whatever. I love the fact that I've seen bush and trimming so much.
To me, what that says in that particular like thing is to show how panicked they are. Like that you have just these irrational thoughts. But
True.
I don't know if, and I don't even know what book we're talking about, so I could be absolutely wrong. For me, it felt like an info dump.
For me, it felt like an info dump.
Oh.
Because it was like, oh, I researched this stuff because he's a gardener, and now I researched it, and I need to tell people that I researched it somehow, and I'm like, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with people feeling like, like, oh yeah, they they really looked up the stuff which does the thing or whatever. Yeah. Oh, that one was just so funny. Because it was just in that random place. Like, if you would have just said the name of the bush, and maybe like a sentence, it wouldn't have pulled me out of the action as much. But I mean, that was like half a paragraph.
Yeah,
it was a lot. But I enjoyed the book itself. That one was just so funny. It was like a random thing to put in there.
The Dean Koontz one or the other one that I gave you?
Yeah, Dean Koontz. Yeah.
Okay.
I haven't finished the other one, so
Did you stop at that point?
I stopped at that point because I was like, you know what? I don't have the patience for this right now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna read something else. So I was like, okay, hey, let's do the Midnight Mojo one and everything.
They're not named Buttercup. They're Solstice, Eclipse. They're all.
Yeah. See, who the frack would remember that, running for their lives and then calling them like you're about to take off, like Santa Claus? For real, C's.
Calling for help.
No, she wasn't. She was trying to get them in the barn.
Oh, was this at the very beginning?
It was at the very beginning.
Oh.
Yep. See, it would have made sense if she was calling them for help.
Yes.
That would have made sense. But it didn't make sense in that moment. And it was just like, I was like, okay, you know what? I'll be back. I'm just, because like I said, it's a pet peeve of mine. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I don't mind chosen one tropes. I don't mind. Like, there's a bunch of tropes I don't mind, but that one's just weird. It's not even a trope. It's just weird.
He is an extreme animal lover.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah,
I noticed.
And that's her power too.
I'm already 4 chapters in. I was like, huh. Not to mention, it feels very. It feels like a book that it feels like a spin-off.
It is the second series book. Okay. You didn't read the first one. First series.
Yeah, I know. And you noticed immediately because she's always talking about these people who are this and this and that and that. And you're like, but she does the thing though. She gives you a little paragraph so you understand. Like okay, sure. So you're like, okay, I have a feeling that I am in the middle of season 4 here.
Yeah, the first trilogy
That's
is
okay. It's like a first story. I'm okay with that. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, it was
I can
so
send
funny.
it to you. You may not like it. I'm actually rereading it now. I'm at the third book of the first trilogy.
Mm.
And then I'll go to the second trilogy. And now there's the third trilogy. It's all in the same area. Characters. Different.
Yeah. No, I definitely don't mind it. I just thought it was funny for a second. I was like, you spend an awful lot of time talking about these people. I'm like, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah. Because you missed that.
And that's okay. I didn't miss it. I just decided not to go there.
Reading the dictionary at like D and being like, hey, what are all these other letters that they asked for?
What you talk?
Just saying.
And the what you talk? What words? And then yoink. This thing is just an errant black strand of hair. It's like, I don't know what I'm doing today, but I don't want to do what you tell me.
I need to take a me day today and shower and
do it.
Yep. My husband was standing in the doorway and he's like, what are your plans for today? I'm like, I got to for her to log on. He's like, okay. And then for the first time, like I saw myself in the mirror. I had like Doc Brown.
Oh, I did that after our rib safari thing, like when we were on the boat on the island. Like
after
it's called the rib safari.
Rib safari.
It's called a rib safari. Yeah.
Okay. I won't tell you what word I thought you said. Continue.
A few come to mind, but like after that, because like you're on the boat for an hour, you're getting splashed with the ocean and shit, and like then we went to pick up my kid who and my mother-in-law who were at my mother-in-law's mother. Sure. Like just hanging out while we were there, and we get the kids and blah blah, thanks for hanging out or whatever. Bye, ciao, and we go. And I'm in the elevator and I look at my hair and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like this right here was the least of my own. It was all like this though. Like really fly away and just this big, and like you pressed it and you could just feel the salt.
It was crackly.
Oh, good. I was like, we should go home so I can fix this. And we ended up going to the pool like 2 days later.
Yeah.
It's like kind of a waste of shampoo at that point, but because that pool also had salt water in it.
Yeah.
Until the pool we're going to now, that has your normal pool water like chlorine and stuff like that, but they have a specific tub there that is like a hot tub, but it's not hot, but it has ocean water in it or salt water, or something like that. I might have to dip in that too. I might have to do that too.
So it has salt water. So I wonder if the flotation is different.
There definitely is. There you have more buoyancy for sure.
Yeah.
But it's also like it's supposed to be good for your skin and for your like how they have cold tanks now at the pool, so you can like jump in there. They're like only like 8 degrees or something, and you stay in there as long as you can, and you go to a warmer thing, or you come from the sauna into the cold or whatever. It's like a shock to your system or whatever. I am not gonna pretend like I know why it's healthy for you. Just know that they tell you that it is. I think that's a thing.
Doesn't it close everything then? It constricts everything, closes all your pores, traps the water, all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I just know if I'm going to do it, I'm probably going to turn a little blue.
I used to do that back when I had control of the water temperature in the shower. In the summertime, I would take a nice hot shower, which apparently I learned there is a difference between, I'm segueing here, between
Go for it.
What women think are hot showers versus what men think are hot showers. And I had no idea that there was a difference between these two. No idea whatsoever. So I'm complaining about our shower because I can't turn it doesn't work anymore. Like just one temperature, that's it. And he's
Yeah.
like, "Oh, this is off. Like this is perfectly fine. This is perfect temperature." You know, and I'm like, I can't get any oil off. Can't get the soap out of my. I'm in there forever. Hair washing is ridiculous. Point. Yeah, but
Yep.
yeah, I had no idea that women liked their showers hotter. I did not know
See,
that
that's
was
the
a
thing.
thing.
I've always heard how much women love to have, Satan lick their back, hot water.
Right.
And the thing is, I've always been super sensitive to hot water.
Yeah.
So, I will only do it if, like, I have a muscle issue somewhere. Not that I
Yeah.
have muscles, but, the muscles that I do have. But my husband does. He's definitely with the ladies on this side of the
Okay.
scale. He sometimes I think he's genuinely trying to boil him.
Okay.
But no, it's the large
Interesting.
majority of women wants it hot.
All right. Next time you're here, I'm going to have to turn on the shower and you'll have to tell me what you think that is, whether it's like hot or cold. Because there is like one moment in the shower, one moment, and it lasts about half a second, where as soon as it's torn warm, get a nice, beautiful, hot stream of water. And I'm like, as fast as I can, because then it goes away. And I'm like, oh.
And we're back to tepid.
Yeah. Like, my son is fine with the water temperature.
Yep.
It's that cold. And he's like, it's just because you don't, like, because we have those shower doors. I always keep it open. When I'm like, point. Water gets all over the floor anyway. Who cares?
Yeah.
Squeeze it up, you're fine. So I just keep the doors open because then I'm not like hitting my elbows into glass doors or whatever. And then I can like move away. Whatever. And he's like, it's only because you don't keep the doors. Like, it's meant so that you close the doors and then it gets all hot in there. And I'm like, if the water is only fucking warm, like, it's never going to get hotter. It's only ever going to be warm. That's it. Like,
yep.
Doesn't matter if the doors are closed, open, sealed shut. That shit's just still warm, not hot.
Yep.
Oh, okay. There's my. Yeah.
Monday rant over.
Oh. Well, I got to do that today.
Rant or
take a disappointing shower.
Oh, yeah. I've started doing the whole, I will shower, I'll do the stuff that I need to do, and then I'll turn the water cold.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I used to do that when I had in the summertime.
Yep.
Just take a nice cold rinse.
Oh.
Yep.
I'll wake you right up.
Of course, it used to be also, so hot.
Yeah.
That I would just jump in the shower.
Yeah.
Shower. Cool off.
Right.
You know, when it was like 40, 45. Like,
oh, God.
Hot.
That's melting temperature for me.
That's the reason why I got a pool.
Yeah, I've lost count of how many times my husband has knocked on the door when I'm in the shower, because he'll turn the water cold and then it's going to be like, okay, I can do this, and then it go. There's me squeaking and shrieking in the shower because it's so freaking cold. Are you okay? What? Like, yep, that happened. That's the more stuffed animals. Hold on. Aw, isn't it cute?
Aw.
You can tell that my family is used to having a 5-year-old around.
Yes.
Whatever. It's very cute.
Do they know that none of your children are now 5 years old, though?
Yes, they do. They do. But my brother's kid is 5.
Oh, okay.
So that makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense that they have like a whole box full of toys in my parents' room. Like, just full of toys. And I'm like, like, this would make sense if these were adult toys, I guess. But what? But no, it's just
Wait.
since my brother moved out, there are still a few boxes here and there, and I'm assuming that's one of them. Eva,
I don't want to know
what
about
you
your
mean?
parents' adult box of adult toys.
I haven't seen one, and I'm not looking for one. This box of actual children's toys is out in the open in the room, and I'm like, that's a really random place to put it.
Yeah.
But okay.
Oh, hey, you
But like
have
I
to
said,
tell me when we're picking you up. The airport. I don't know when that
yes,
is.
I will.
Yes.
I will tell you when I know.
And we figured that we would just take your car.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Whatever is best for you guys.
Yeah.
It's A-okay with me. And then, oh, I'm not tired. You're tired.
I had stone roofing delivered today, so yes, I'm tired.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
yeah, one of my kids snuck into our bed last night, and I have no idea why.
Whoa.
And she amazingly snuck in on her dad's side, too. Didn't wake me up at all. And I was like, this is new.
Oh my.
Mm-hmm.
Youngest?
But, they're all...
Youngest?
Yeah, my youngest. I'm sure there was, like, a nightmare involved, or
Yeah.
sister had her foot in her face or something. I don't know. I literally can't wait for those people to have their own rooms again.
Yes. Mine has his own room, but it just doesn't seem to matter.
Yeah. No, I mean, like,
So.
but he's not, putting his hand on somebody's face while they're sleeping. I mean, he is with you, but, but
That's
when
the
my kids
problem.
do that to each other, it becomes my problem.
Yes.
I'm like,
Then it's your problem.
Why am I involved? Like, why do I have to be involved? No. I don't know.
Hey, do you have any?
Other than move the streams to YouTube?
Yeah.
Your disappointing shower?
Yeah. Oh, see, found a note.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can't think of anything.
Your dog needs a bath.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. But I think he's like, I started telling you, I think he's done being here. Like, wants to go home.
Oh, like, oh God. Like, I miss him so much now. When I go to bed, my parents have a balcony that goes off from their bedroom.
Yeah.
And we keep, like, the door locked but still open, so, like, it can be pushed inwards but not outwards, whatever.
Yeah.
And every time I go to bed late at night, and, you close the door after you, there's, like, this thunk. And it's almost, it reminds me of when my dog is walking around and just flops down on the floor. And I'm like, oh. So every night I'm like, oh, baby dog, where is he? I am not a fan.
He's going to be so happy we're home. And Simi is going to be so happy when he goes home. Although we're getting to the point now, like we've just been keeping separated. Like every time he goes, tries to jump on the gate to say hello, she's just like,
you again.
Walks away. So she's no longer biting him. And we're at the point now where we don't have to like separate them. Like if we're still keeping them separate because he is a puppy and she is absolutely not a puppy. None.
Nope.
But when we're switching them, they can pass. And then as soon as he turns around to be excited, she's like, let's go. Let's go. Right now. Let's go.
Hands, I'm down. Or throw paws, I guess.
Yes. Throw paws. Let's go.
He's such a goofball.
He is so
goofy.
Yes.
And I noticed this when I'm walking him around the town. Every time he wants to meet a dog, usually when he gets to meet one, it's usually a younger dog. But every once in a while, people will stop and chat with you and stuff. And those are almost always the people who have the older dogs. And the older dogs are always like,
back off, bitch.
no, child, no. Every single time, I think it's almost like, I mean, it's almost a human expression. Like, you can read that real easy. It's just like, I have to socialize with this child now? Is this what you think I do? Is this where you think I'm at in my life?
You need to calm your roll.
Yes. I'm always just like, oh, buddy, you gotta be chill. Of course you can't be chill, but, I feel like I should at least give it the college try of like, it's okay, chill out, buddy.
Yeah. Just so excited. And then he found an antler or something out in the yard. So that was like doom worthy. Where he was just like freaking rally car, like bang, like in off the couch, outside. Like I'm like, you're gonna clock yourself on this scaffolding. It's gonna come all falling down. Like calm your shit.
Please. Chill.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no. Yeah. He's just a big ball of goof.
Yes. He misses you guys a lot.
Yeah.
And then every time, like, my kids just, no, Titty, go away, Titty. No. No licking. Stop. And then, like, he occasionally decides to be nice to Titty. So he'll be sitting on the couch and Titty will be sitting next to him, but not touching him because then get pushed, right?
Yep.
And then he's just like laying there looking up, and then my kid dogs will just absent at him, and you could see him like,
it's happening.
He's touching me, and he's trying like not to get excited because he knows like it'll be no, Titty.
Yes, stop it.
Control. I'm actually getting a little impressed in there. See, because if he's just there calm, boy has no problem giving him like, playing with his ears, like, and you can just see he's just like, I just need to control it. I just need to control it. Of course, he fails, and then he starts like, play bow, run, zoom, outside, inside. Poor kid.
Oh, my buddy.
Yeah.
But ironically, that is how your son and my dog are at home too. My dog's just like, oh my God, will you please play with me? And he's like, no. And you'll be like, no, buddy, you gotta sit down. The kid controls this. If he doesn't want to play, you're not gonna play. He's like, and then he'll still be edging closer. And then every once in a while, he'll pet him, and you'll just see the tail going.
Yep. Calm down. Calm your
and then,
shit.
I just let him out on the porch, and he can do the zoomies all he wants.
Yeah.
But good for you, buddy.
Yep.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And man, do I look forward to being able to go on walks? My back needs that.
Oh. Yeah, he would love to go on walks again.
Like I have muscle cramps and stuff.
Oh. Probably just because you're not doing your new.
Yes. That and sleeping on other people's beds.
Yes. Although you must be used to it by now.
Right. You think so?
Yeah. No?
No. Not all the way. Like, it's I'm probably going to have like the best night's sleep, like the second to last night before we leave or something.
Of course.
That's in my team. No, I don't. Oh. Okay, I'm not going to do that again. What's up?
I don't know. What did you do?
I did the thing. You know how when you look up into a light, like when the light is like a bowl, and a fly or something has gotten in there, and you see the little spot? Yeah, I did that.
Oh, okay. Don't do that.
One of the things there. Yeah. I was like, maybe I shouldn't do that again.
Holy hell, I'm tired.
And I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Yeah, I can't even talk. I can't talk to my kids about the dog because
No,
they'll just be like, "I miss him so much," and I'm like,
I know. I'm gonna give him a bath though, because he kind of stinks. So he'll be smelling like my wonderful.
It's all good. He's got short fur.
Yeah.
He's,
Which, by the
he's
way,
happy with whatever.
he sheds just as much as this one
Oh,
does.
he does now.
Oh
Shit.
yeah. Oh yeah. Because now I can see the difference between like the long hair and the short hair, right?
Yes.
And I'm like,
Yes.
holy hell.
Yep.
Like he's sleeping with us in the bedroom, but Simi's also in there, so he's crated, right? And he's
Right.
fine with it, no problems. He's like, we say go to bed, and he goes into the crate, nice big fluffy bed in there.
Oh.
Gets his cookies, like it's no problem whatsoever. But then I was vacuuming the other day, and I was like, oh, holy hell! There's like a kitten over here.
Yep.
Just popping out of the crate.
Easy.
Yeah. And now I don't have the brush anymore because I gave it to you. So I'm just like, okay.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Could have possibly put that brush in there, huh?
That's okay.
And into stuff.
I'll figure it out.
All right.
He's gonna get a bath anyway.
Hmm.
I'm home smelling nice and yeah. I'll just wait till like the day before. Doesn't roll in shit in the meantime.
I make no promises. I genuinely, I've lost count of how many times we've done the thing where, he finally gets a bath.
Yeah.
Like a proper bath, not a, I'm gonna walk
down
outside
or something. Yeah.
go to the bath water or whatever, just proper bath, soap and stuff. And I'll use like the hair dryer on him because otherwise he's just wet for freaking hours.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean sometimes it depends. Like if I don't want to sacrifice like 4 towels,
okay.
then yeah, the double coat thing tends to hold on to the water. I don't know. So yeah, sometimes I'll just sit him down and I'll just air dry that bitch with a blow dryer. Like the air is not cold, I'm not completely insane. But
good to know.
yeah, no, but I mean, I've lost count of how many times we've done that, and then the very next day, we take him on a walk as you do, and we're like, should we go to the woods still? Because I've literally just washed you. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, famous last words. What could go wrong?
Yeah,
what could possibly go wrong? Yeah.
Or my husband takes him on a walk, like in the woods somewhere, and he finds some water. Mm-hmm. Game over. Game over, people. Everybody can go home now. Oh.
Yeah. We don't have those problems because, we don't go. So he'll stay clean, hopefully, for a little bit.
Oh, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. He'll be happy as pie. Most happy as pie.
You're coming back on Sunday? Is that
yes.
Correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Then does everyone your kids are still home for the summer?
Oh yeah, I still have a month of this left.
Okay.
Except it's gonna be in the house.
All right. You can stream here on Mondays anyway. My boy is home on Thursday.
Right. We'll see. I mean, I'm sure we can actually stream on Mondays.
In a room with a tablet.
Right.
A couple hours. Survive.
They'll survive. Fine.
I mean, it's easier tuning out one kid than plus friends.
Yeah. We do it early and now.
Nope.
Literally, my youngest, Spawn 3, she's been getting phone calls all week and the week before, going, "Hey, you want to go play at the school ground? Hey, you want to go do this? Hey, you want to go do that?" She's like, "I am literally still in Iceland."
Yeah.
Like, sure, I'll be right there. 3 days later, I'm here. Where are you? She's like, Well, they're waiting on her. And I bet you dollars to donuts that when we get there, that's when they're leaving.
Oh no.
Yeah, like Spawn 2's friend. They've been playing like via Roblox and other things.
Yeah.
Together. And that's like, and sometimes like I was like, you can call her. It's totally fine for you to call her.
Yeah.
And she said, okay. And sometimes, you'll hear them talking and like they'll send each other voice messages and stuff. It's adorable. Because we're coming home on the 17th and she's leaving for like 3 or 4 weeks on the 22nd.
Oh.
Yeah. There's very little time in there. I'll also have to call her mom. I promised to check on her. What is it? Oh shit! It's a house you grow plants in. Yeah, drivhus. But what's it called in English
I said it.
now? Yeah, because I was like, the only word I could remember was drivhus, and I'm like, no, I was gonna look for the English word, but my English brain's like, I got nothing for you right now. Garden house? No, that's not right.
House.
No, greenhouse. Okay, I had garden and house.
Yes.
Close. Greenhouse. Yeah, I promised her I'd check on that for her while she was gone. So I gotta remember to call her, text her, ask her what am I doing?
Yeah.
Because she said they would probably set up some kind of automatic watering system. So all I need to do is just check on it. Like maybe eat a cucumber or two.
Yeah, there you go. It's gonna be bad by the time she gets back, so.
Right. Yeah. I was like, I can handle that.
Yeah.
I think.
I'm actually sad that this year I did not have a garden. Didn't have vegetables growing. Get to any of them.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No. I'm gonna we're gonna have to go flower shopping when I come back.
If there's any flowers left.
Yep. There usually are. I'm used to killing my plants somewhere halfway through summer.
420 Jenkins. Yo. Hello, 420.
Yo, hi.
I know what that means.
Even I do. What was that?
Oh, you heard that? Oh, yeah, they're literally right.
Of course they are.
You can hear that?
Yeah, okay. I could hear that bit. Then all of a sudden I was like, was that you or was that here?
Oh. Nope. The roofer. Yay.
The roofers. Yay, so fun.
Yep.
Oh, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Remember how I funnily said when, hey, I'll have a new roof by the time you get back? Yeah.
Well, I mean, surely they're in the end stretch now, though, right?
Well, they just got the stones in today. I guess. I don't know. Between this and the road work. Oh, by the way, they've put like an island in the middle of the road on the main road there.
What? In the middle of what?
There's like a small island.
Okay. Yep.
So in the middle of the main road where that new road comes out, there's like a rock, a small island. Because now they're going to have a turning lane road. So they've extended the road to the right a little bit more toward the forest.
Yeah.
So that you have to like, so straight you kind of go.
Oh.
Yeah. And there's going to be a crosswalk.
Yes. My God, have they needed a crosswalk there forever.
Yes. Yes.
Every time I leave, I'm praying that the bushes next to your neighbors don't kill me because literally people can't see you until you cross.
Yes, no, but now there's a walkway there, literally right next to. We lost some land there.
Oh, really? Because there's always been a walkway next to her thing, though.
Not this close.
Oh, right. Okay. Jeez.
Yep, not this close.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, like the walkway would end when you got
Yes.
to her property, like, and you were literally this close to her bushes.
Yeah. Well, now it
So you'd have to
continues that close
you'd
to
have to
her
do the
bushes.
thing where you'd have to peek out and see if people were coming because like that was danger,
Yeah.
danger.
So now it's all paved, and it goes further.
Ah,
So the crosswalk is a little bit past where the new road is.
right. Okay. That'll be interesting to see. That's a nice noise. No one ever. It sounds like you have very enthusiastic neighbors.
Oh, I wish I had enthusiastic neighbors.
Keep it down in
Ah, shut up.
there.
Maybe the whole world would be quiet.
Right? That'd be weird, but also kind of cool.
Yeah. Yep. I'm actually surprised. Like, I don't, oh, maybe because I turned up the decibels on the microphone. It up.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Because usually that kind of stuff goes, like, it just doesn't, I don't know, whatever.
Mm.
What do I know? I know nothing.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Are you watching the Umbrella Academy?
We saw season 1, and then we're excited for season 2, but never saw it. And now I guess there's season 3 out. Yes. So I think eventually we'll like probably binge all of them at once, but we're not quite there yet.
Cool. Okay. Nice.
Yeah.
We're finishing up season 3 now.
Yeah.
I think we have an episode or 2 left. And that's what we do in the morning because we usually wake up before the kids. And we wake up around the time where, like, my brother and brother-in-law are going to work. Okay. So we're like, we'll just take our sweet time, have breakfast, and watch an episode or 2.
Vincent, allow TikTok to access your contacts. Do not.
No.
Yeah,
Yep, I did. And you're going to like at least 2 of them. So you're just going to watch them now?
No, apparently not. Nope.
Well, we could just end early, though, if the roofers are going to be above you the entire time. It's going to get annoying.
Oh.
Especially for you, because you're going to be there.
But I hear it regardless. Matter.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah. I'm just saying. I mean, it would be okay. Mm-hmm.
Good that you'll be back, though, soon, because then you'll still have 2 weeks of empty Norway.
Yes.
My favorite time of the year. Norway. Honest to God, it's almost as good as Christmas right now. Honestly, I love July.
Right. It's great unless you have to have something done.
Right. If you need
something done, like need an appointment, you are screwed.
Yes, you're screwed that way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
I remember from my first year here, I moved here in June.
Oh yeah.
And needed to go to the police station within 2 weeks, but they were on strike. And then it was July.
Holy crap! What did you do about that?
We just kept calling, being like, trying to do what we need to do, get me registered, like here. And they're like, yeah, well, we understand. It's no worries. Just come back in August.
Okay, but you can't deport me then. I need this in writing.
Yeah. Well, no, I still had a few months in from the forest thing, but yeah. But they made it sound like on all the paperwork, like you must document yourself. Police station. And then we were like, okay, let's just go to the police station then. Just walked into a random Oslo police station. And they're like, no, that's not us. We don't do that. I'm like, but it says. He's like, yeah, I know what it says, but that's not us here.
I cannot help you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Yep. I got to go. No.
So, yeah. Lots of fun.
Mm.
July on we have to go do all the things. Maybe we should even go to the well.
Oh, yeah. We might try that. It'll just be us and a bunch of other tourists.
Right?
What, to be like only Norwegians? We're like, well, that backfired. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, I can't imagine that a sauna is like so popular in the, like, wouldn't the winter months be better for that? Right? The summer should be clear.
Sure. I have no idea.
And we have to plan for our spot.
Yes. And bike tours, apparently.
Oh,
don't forget the bike tours. Hey, we got to earn you that electric bike.
I do, and I need to earn that electric bike. But I was thinking, like, it has to, like, the husband has to do some things and stuff. I don't quite know.
Oh, yeah. That takes like 5 minutes, don't worry.
But I was that maybe the boy and I would take our bikes to SFO.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would bike and get him. But then I'm like,
yep.
Sounds like so much. I don't know.
It is effort, especially when you're learning how to like bike with him, like making sure he's going to listen to you if you ask him to stop and shit.
Yeah.
That was, I felt that was the most nerve-wracking whenever I took my kids out on bike rides. I was like, we need a system and y'all need to stick with the system.
Yeah.
Regardless of anything else.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm asking you to stop, it's not because I'm being a bitch. It's because I don't want you to die.
Right. Yeah, there is that too.
But thankfully, you know, I mean, like, it's practicing now when Norway's empty is a good idea.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep.
Maybe I can have the husband come along and we can all take a bike ride.
Yep.
So that Absolutely. He can be sandwiched in between us. So anything goes wrong, we can just switch him.
Yep. He's like, I can't do it. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah. I don't know.
He's going to end up on a leash somewhere. No.
I was wondering. I was like, geez, we have like remote controls for brakes on bikes. Could we like set that up? Like,
yeah. You know, my husband's an engineer. I'm sure we can figure that out.
Let's do it. Let's do it. You guys need to come home. Can we
slow him down gradually?
No. I'm okay with him like immediately stopping and then flipping over the. Yeah, he'll have a helmet on. It's fine.
I can personally attest to that. It's not as much fun as it looks.
Yeah, but it's not happening to me, so.
Right. Happening to you. He's fine. He's telling us. He'll feel faster.
They bounce at this age, don't they?
Right. Oh, God.
I kid. I would never hurt my kids deliberately.
No, yeah, this is a little joke for any NSA agent listening.
Right? Literal joke.
It's just kidding.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm a squirrel. Every time I take Pete out for a bike ride, I am a squirrel away from death.
Yes, you are. And I got to tell you, if that ever happens, I pray to God somebody has a video camera. They're like, you know, oh, look at this bird. Wait, what?
Yeah.
And then he can be added to all those compilation videos that I watch where like things go horribly wrong.
Like, there was a part of me that was really concerned that somebody had gotten a video when I went head over ass on my bike when he saw that bird. He doesn't do that anymore, but Jesus.
There's like the video of the sled dogs when the deer ran across, and it was like everything was fine until, and all of a sudden you just see the camera like.
Oh, Jesus Christ! It's like I saw a woman the other day. I mean, I'm assuming this is not a new video, but she had 2 dogs with her and she was skiing. And she had to get off the skis. Now, I don't know why, but the dogs decided they didn't want to stop. And she had them tied around her waist. Trying to grab arms, and they were just dragging her away. And the guy can't help her because he's busy laughing.
That would be me. Don't ever do any of that stuff with me because I'm not sure. I think I'd piss my pants before I helped
Right,
you.
right. It's like when my husband hit himself in the head with it. Are you okay? Again,
Yes.
it was like a really fluffy hammer thing, and it packed a punch. Okay,
That was one of those rubber mallets for like the test your
strengthening.
strength. Yeah.
Oh, it
Game
was
thing.
so funny. He fought the hammer. The hammer won.
Yep.
Oh my God, it was funny though.
I remember watching it the first time and then I was just like, no, she sent me this for a reason. Why is she like sending me this? What? Question mark? Like,
Yep.
watch the hammer. Oh. And I had to show my husband, then I had to show the kid.
Yep. Yep.
Peeing myself every time.
We are horrible people.
Horrible. Going to hell. I have a condo. It's okay.
Right?
Be comfortable.
Okay.
I don't think there's enough sunblock in the world for you, but you know, you don't really need it, do
right.
you?
No, I'll be in hell. It's not like they'll care.
Yeah.
I'll just be burning all the time. Sulfur is bad for my hair, so you know, literal hell.
Although you do look a little tan in the face. You're not as like milky white.
Yes. We got sun when we were in the Westman Islands. I even managed to burn just a little bit here and there.
Oh.
Yeah. And even though I was applying and reapplying, it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough.
My pasty ass can't look at the sun without going.
Well, you know, you are fluorescent, so.
Have you ever seen that one where you have those cartoon characters, like there's a drawing and this other, like I think she's a redhead and she's like holding the towel and it's like they're on the beach and her friends are like, it's fine, everybody's wearing bikinis, it's fine. She's like, it's not that I'm just so pale. And they're like, you're gonna be fine, it's fine. She's like, are you sure? And they're like, yes, of course it's fine. There's two of them. And then she drops the towel and she's literally fluorescent. And one of the friends is like, and the other was like, fine. And the other was like, fine. Runs away. Me. That be me. Oh my God.
I don't know. I've had my legs out in public for a couple weeks. They're not tanning at all.
Don't know why it's so hard to. Yeah, I'm 5 seconds away from stealing my sister's tanning foam thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Australian. You put it on and it tans you and then you have to like wash it off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Called self-tanning lotion.
Yeah. I can't, like, she called it something like that. I can't remember.
Self-tanning foam?
Something like that. I don't know. Oh, so it's like, oh, okay. Sure. That's not going to end up streaky on me at all. No.
Yeah.
I have patience.
Then you could be a zebra.
Then I could be a zebra. See, I did that with tanning lotions before. Like, do you remember that Dove cream? It was just body lotion, but it just had a little bit of tan, so you could gradually become tanner.
Sure.
Yeah, sure. I did that once, like religiously for a week, and I actually got tan.
Yeah.
But at that point, I was like, this is just weird looking. This doesn't feel like me. Where is my pasty ass skin? But
I can't read in the dark.
Right, I can't. What? I've lost the light. I can't see. Planes can't land after me. Then I used to take them and I would like draw like little symbols here, like with it, and just at that tan, just because I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
And I was like, and then at one point I think I remember doing like,
give yourself stripes.
Down did that once though because my God was that irritating in the long run. I was like, that was dumb.
Could do that with henna with you. That would work.
Yeah, that might look better.
Probably not so streaky either.
I mean, I would hope not. Something wrong with that. That was streaky.
Do one leg.
Just the one. I mean, let's do it.
Let's see if anyone actually has the ball. Why are you night and day in one person?
I don't know, man. That's how I roll. Oh, and you got to remind me, when I come home, I found in one of those memory boxes, I found a deck of cards.
Uh-huh.
But it's 52 insults on a card.
Let's play.
Yes.
Yes.
And and it's not like, oh, I would challenge you up to a battle of wits, but I can see that you are unarmed.
Yeah.
It's much more straightforward.
Okay. Let's play Go Fish, right? But instead of saying, do you have any twos, you can say the insult.
Yes. Oh, maybe we should do the thing where we read the insults and the first one of us to laugh loses.
Oh, Jesus.
It's all some of it's really straightforward, some of it's underhanded. I looked at a few of them yesterday and I was like, okay.
We can do that. We can do that out on your deck, right? But we have to have water in our mouth.
Oh, sure. Who's gonna read the insults though? My son?
Yes. He'll
be off camera.
He's so deadpan. He's even right about it.
Yep. Oh, that poor boy has had a cold since we got there.
No.
Yep. Just on and off. Just sniffles and sneezing. And,
oh, wow.
And at one point I literally tested him to make sure he hadn't got something else.
Yes. Yeah.
And no, it's just a cold. I was like, are you allergic to Iceland now? I mean, what is this? What's happening?
Yep, you have to come home. Come home now.
Yeah, I have to come home. I'm sorry, but cut this vacation short.
You're sick now, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I think either between, going to Tusenfried or having his brother and nephew here. He just...
Right.
Yeah. But it's not a COVID thing, so...
No, right. I've been giving the kids C vitamin pills in the morning to keep.
Also, the nephew that was here. Yeah, he had COVID the week before.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
He gave it to his mother and his infant brother.
Oh no. Are they okay though? Okay.
Yeah, like a 1-day variety. Yes.
Huh?
You have a fever for a day and then you're done.
Oh, okay, then you're fine. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it's better than, long COVIDs and shit.
Yeah.
What the?
Probably because of being on the table. What's going on?
Hold on.
Come to the light.
I think a baby was crying, but for some reason it sounded like death metal playing. Someone and I was like, that didn't come from this apartment. The heck was that? The hell was that?
Yeah, but was it a baby or was it death metal?
I don't know.
Oh.
I can hear neither one right now, so that's why I was like, wait, what the? Just came this one thing and then it was gone. Oh, did I tell you about my daughter though, and her death metal screaming in the car
no.
When we were traveling around the country? So, she's all horses.
Spawn.
The youngest one. Number 3.
Yeah.
And she would see horses and she'd scream, every single time. Sometime at the very top of her lungs, but steam and spawn in the backseat all of a sudden. And then that wasn't enough, so she would move on to Heston! Oh! Every single time. And there's a shit ton of horses in Iceland.
Is the word the same?
Voice to break.
Is the word the same in Icelandic and Norwegian?
Horses and Hestar. Yeah, it's what is the plural for horses in Norwegian?
Hestar.
Hestar, yeah. Yeah, we just have an A at the end instead of the E. But
instead of
fine.
ER, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, same. Same C's.
Same C's.
Yeah, no, it was not random, but
Mm.
very, very funny. Especially because like my mom called me at one point, and then all of a sudden my daughter's in the backseat just screaming. Like,
In Norwegian death metal.
Yep. It was so funny though. I think I caught her like once or twice on video, but it's
Oh, you
freaky.
didn't send those to me.
Probably will.
Either that or you'll just give me your phone when you get back.
Right here. Go through the shit
everything
you actually want to see. So I don't have to show you the shit you don't. Oh man.
I want to see
and at the
everything.
karaoke thing. Right here. At the karaoke thing.
Yeah.
We were like we kept picking songs that were fun. But what we didn't really realize until you were actually singing the song is the fact that they were all songs that really had a lot of words in every line, so you had to
Yeah.
2 points we were just like I can't.
I need air.
Just a little, just where's my comma? I need to breathe. And I learned
For the love of God, I need a comma.
Please, I need oxygen. It was so stupid. It was so unbelievably stupid. But like, and then I was like, okay, I found a song that's a slow song, so we're gonna be able to breathe. No, nope. Still had a whole bunch of words in there. And like 2 of them, I didn't. I was like, oh, I've been singing that wrong for a very long time.
Oh yeah. What was it?
Yeah. That happened like 4 or 5 times. I can't even remember anymore. It was just like, what was nope, I don't remember. It'll pop into my head later. But it was one of those like it was like a country road take me home kind of a song. It was like those songs that you always sing along. But I can't remember what the word was. I was like, oh, I totally thought there was a word after that. Okay. Like that happened like 4 times. Yep, I knew those were the words.
It's at the like that TikTok, the Mama Say Mama Sama Nakusa.
Yes.
And what are they actually saying?
Isn't it an African phrase?
No, something like I'm gonna say.
But I don't know. I can't remember.
It ends with like I'm not gonna stop. So that Mamakusa is I'm not gonna stop.
Oh my goodness! It's don't stop till you get enough. Don't stop till you get enough. I think it's. I'm not gonna make any promises here. But what is it? That one. We're starting something. I can't remember. I would Google it, but I'm using my phone.
Is that the right song?
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think
so. It's
right. Yeah. I Google by the wrong lyrics.
Yeah. Oh, was it starting something? Want to be starting something? No.
I don't know. Trying to see. Hey, Mama, Mama.
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually it's
Yeah.
Maroonian language of Douala.
Ah. Well, what's the song? Where's the song from? Like, what's the name of the song?
I'm gonna say one more time. I'm not gonna stop. from Wanna Be Starting Something.
Yeah, okay. It was the second song, I guess. I was like, oh, damn it. I always do that. Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can find that.
You want to be started something. You got to be starting something. I said, you want to be started something. You got to be started something. Yeah, yeah.
Lyrics. Now I'm wondering, is
I genuinely thought it was Mama Say, Mama Sa, Mama Kusa, like the word, like not exactly those words, but they sound like that. Because I knew it was a phrase. Because I owned the lyrics. I mean, I owned the vinyls and I owned the CDs and I read the lyrics. And I was like, I could have sworn that. And I was like, oh, maybe I was wrong though. Maybe I'm misremembering.
oh the lyrics? Mama say, Mama sa, Mama.
Right. So it isn't a misheard thing.
It's not a misheard.
So maybe the other thing is the misheard thing. Like I'm gonna say it. Yeah.
I can see where that.
Mm.
Oh, I learned something new today.
Right.
Never trust TikTok. Fact check.
No,
Fact check all the things.
I tend to fact check a few things, like especially like some of the shit you see on TikTok, like, oh, if you do this with your skin, you're gonna look so much thinner.
Oh yeah,
it's
no,
like,
I don't. I never
and
listen
you
to
see
that
doctors
shit.
just going like, no.
But that one was plausible. I mean, who hasn't done that? Like, I can have a list of songs I did that when I was a kid. ELO, Evil Woman. I used to go around singing "She Is a Worm." I was like, I don't know, 3, but still, I did it.
That's regardless.
Yeah.
Mm. All right.
So that one was more plausible.
Mm.
Yeah.
I gotta be getting going.
Oh yeah.
Gotta be getting going.
Okay.
Yeah. Getting going. That's not a word.
I gotta go.
Not even close. Yeah, I gotta go, sir. So we should wrap this up. Because,
Yes.
I got swim gear to find.
Yeah.
And I can hear the monkeys jumping on the bed.
No more monkeys jumping on.
Nope.
You know that one, right?
I do know that one.
We're gonna schedule.
Yeah. At the moment, it's free in the morning.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll just leave it up for Thursday then.
Yeah. We'll cancel on Wednesday if I see that I can't.
Yeah.
If I can't make it.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us today.
Yes. And 6 days.
Yes. 6 days back to normal.
Yeah.
All right. Ciao, everyone.
All right. Bye.